a couple of concepts, and also there is a couple of hands-on also I'm going to explain. If you have any query during this, please feel free to stop, raise your hand, and I can able to help you with more examples and more explanation. Okay, how many of you know the load balancer, AWS load balancer? How many of you know AWS load balancer, and what is the purpose of load balancer? Anyone want to share? Anyone want to share? So purpose of load balancer.
Sorry, somebody has raised the hand. Venu
Yeah.
Madhavi Alam, I have unmuted you. If you want to share, you can share. Otherwise, I'll mute you back. You can unmute and talk.
Yeah. Hi, Vijay. This is Madhavi. So, load balancer in AWS means it distributes the incoming traffic between EC2 instances or across availability zones.
Okay. Okay. So which means you are saying there is a purpose of load balancer is we can have load balancer, but with more flexibility of traffic handling, correct? Load handling, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask because instead of muting all people, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Maybe you can share so that it will be a more interactive way. So the load balancer, what are all situation we need in Madhavi? Sunita, you can also unmute the other person who are all hand raised so that 3 to 4 people have interactive session.
Can I explain?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we need a target groups and we need listeners. So we can register EC2 instances. So and we have 3 load balancers in AWS: Elastic Load Balancer, Application Load Balancer, and Network Load Balancer. Depends upon your traffic or depends upon your which port you want to allow. We can choose that load balancer.
Okay. How many of you seeing my whiteboard in my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see.
Yeah, Fiji, I'm able to see. Yeah, VJ, I'm kind of disagree with last speaker.
Hi. Yes. Okay. So Isaac, are you able to see the whiteboard, Isaac?
Yes, I said I'm kind of disagree with last speaker.
Okay. So you have some other views?
Yeah, the last speaker said we have a 3 load balancers, that Elastic load balancer, application load balancer, and the network load balancer. To my understanding, application load balancer and the network load balancer, they are the type of Elastic load balancers. So Elastic balancer have the 2 types of application and network.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to clarify that if I'm wrong.
Yes. Probably that is why I just want everyone to put it in a table. So I'm going for hope everyone's seeing my AWS console, right? So I'm going for a load balancer. Isaac, are you able to see the screen, AWS console?
Yes, sir. I can see.
Yeah. So basically the load balancer part, I'm going for a load balancer. So there is a application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer, right? So if your purpose is going to have application related traffic, you want to have application related enhancements, then more than one server, or to handle a huge load for your application to divert to all load equally, then prefer to go with the application load balancer. And also the network. So if you have more related the network performance or using the IP address based and the devices, then go with the load balancer, network load balancer. And the gateway load balancer probably will have two use cases. We will see it in detail in those. Sunita, you can or people, those who are raised the hand,
Yeah,
you can
everybody's
unmute all of them.
unmuted. Vijay.
Okay.
Whoever has raised their hand, all of them have been allowed mic.
Okay. So the application load balancer and network load balancer, there is a new option called sticky session. So can anyone share, even if you are wrong, I'm here to correct you. What is the purpose of the, so we discussed about load balancer, why we are using, but in that load balancer, why we need a sticky session option? Because today in a digitalization world, without sticky session option, very less applications are running, because most of the business, they need the sticky session flexibility. Why? From the end user point of view, what I'm going to get with that option? Anyone have any idea?
Yeah, hi Vijay, Srikanth here.
Hi Srikanth.
So we will ensure the same session will carried over to the same backend server instead of going across the multiple servers.
I'm going to draw the sample environment. You tell me in that scenario. So basically, you are a user. You are sitting in somewhere in Canada, okay, and your friend is sitting in somewhere UK, okay, and you sitting in Canada, okay. So the idea here is you both accessing one same application website, okay, maybe www some website. So the website is configured via AWS cloud using the load balancer, using the sticky session, okay. So it is coming to load balancer. This is the load balancer and the target group, and in the target group backend, there is a EC2 instance I have mapped. What is this EC2 instance? My applications are running in this EC2 instance, right? So this target group, I have enabled the sticky session option. So now you tell me, if you access this website application from Canada, your friend access from UK, what is exactly going to happen?
So if it is a sticky session, it's like cache. So it will route to same EC2 machine in the UK.
Okay, so I'm going to change the color. So the Canada, when he access, it is coming to target group and it is going. So what if again access the same application, same browser? Where this traffic will go? This is first traffic. This is second traffic.
In the same region, Canada.
Same region, same target node, right? Target machine,
yes.
Correct? Okay, what is the purpose? What we are trying to achieve here? Why, if this session is went to here, will there be any problem?
Can I tell?
Go ahead.
Yeah, he can get better performance without any, I mean, he can get better performance and low latency.
Where? Here or here?
From that instance.
No. Hope you understand my question.
Yeah, so same instance.
Same instance, right?
I mean, same instance, correct.
Okay. Any other query? Still, I'm not. I'm expecting some more answer. Anyway, I'm going to explain, but I want to hear your views. Yeah. Go ahead, Isaac.
Okay. Yes. The user from Canada trying to reach into the server through the load balancer and the target group. So on the first search traffic, the application will go through based on load balancer to the EC2 instances, any one of them that is active, and based on the health check on all the instances. And the information is stored in the sticky session for any person that is coming back for second again, asking for the same information, back all the way to the end of servers. It will just direct, the load balancer will direct to sticky session for high latency, instead all the way go back to the EC2 instances.
So exactly. The high latency the cookie will decide where you already originated. If there is no reference, then it will pick up the new tenant. If there is a previous reference, it will go here. So what are the situation? What kind of application this facility is going to help us a lot? What kind of application? What kind of a websites? So you, maybe I'm going to list down a couple of application scenarios. You correct me if I'm wrong. What if you are logging into one banking website? You want to do some transfer. So if the traffic is going to here, I'm going to change my pen. So the first traffic is going to here, and second traffic is going to here. What is the exact issue you will face? Remember, this time I'm talking about the financial banking website, financial application. You logged in. After you logged in, the first traffic reached the instance 1. Second traffic, after some time, it's going to here. What will be the consequences you will face in this?
It will take time to load, to fetch the creating a new.
More than load. First itself, there will be some issue.
Okay, how we say that? How we say that, Vijay? The first one, when you log in, the first one, the EC21 has the information of that person. So when that person want to do the transaction, if you go to EC22, it doesn't have the information. You have to log in and so on. So that's why you have to go back to the EC1.
Yeah, this is what I expected from everyone. So exactly. So that means what is happening? So it's not only sticky session establishing the cookie part and reference. It's also maintaining the actual login information, actual transaction information. You all agree, right? Yes. Exactly, Sulaiman. Authentication, correct? So that is where the crucial role played by this option. So whenever you go to any interview or any exam or any project, please make sure what kind of application they are using, what kind of authentication they are using, what kind of. So basically, you need to understand what exactly the application purpose is from the end user. So then, because that is where you will go for more in depth in this load balancer, because load balancer is very simple. One traffic is coming, transfer it to here. Another traffic is coming, transfer it to here. But if you attach this facility, this sticky session facility, then that is where all ball game is started. So how many of you don't understand? Anyway, I'm going to create and show you. But before that, I just want how many of you understood this?
So is the sticky is for like managing the best pathway? Is my understanding is correct?
The best pathway also, it will maintain your session. Okay. Because each application will have some timeouts. Say normally banking, I prefer 30 seconds. So more than 30 seconds, if you are no activity in your session, it will be timeout, because it want to avoid a lot of spammers. Okay, Mani. Okay, let it be here. We will come back again. I'm going to open up my AWS console. Okay, I'm going to go for EC2. Okay, I'm hope you are all seeing my EC2 screen, right? So I'm going for a EC2. But before implementing this, we need to create a private subnets. So let me just also open a VPC. those who really want to practice this, I already created a detailed one. Probably you can also have a look. Probably I'll explain. So I'm going for a VPC. So if you go AWS, I'm just going here. I think day 20 I have released. Yes. So if there is a detailed hands-on with more configuration wise step by step, I have already published here. So you can take a look whenever you are free. So basically, you are going to choose application load balancer because your application needs all this facility from the end user, right? So you create a load balancer and attach the load balancer with target group with sticky session enabled, and the application load balancer also have target group. I will soon explain what is the another more feature for target group. And even you can go with the small setup if you want to perform and understand your lab. Basically, what you need to do is you create one VPC, which we are going to create it now. And if you want, you can create two public subnets and two private subnets. And each private subnet, you create a EC2 instance, you create a EC2 instance, and make sure this image, because this network subnet doesn't have any internet visibility. So first you need to you need to first create one EC2 instance and install web server and access it from outside, whether you are able to see the web server is accessible or not. So then you convert this as a custom image, and using that custom image, create one instance here, create another instance here, right? So once you create it, then attach it to one new target group with sticky session enabled. And again, you need to attach it to application load balancer, which you can access it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create and I'm going to show where the sticky session option is. Okay, so for more hands-on or anything, probably you can spend some time in these steps and explore it. So I'm going for a VPC. I'm going for I don't want to go with a VPC visa. I always like to go with manual car. So I'm going to create a manual one, create VPC, a virtual private cloud. So basically, what is the other? Okay, let us come back the same diagram. So what is the purpose of VPC? So basically, whenever you create any AWS account, by default, there will be a default VPC. Okay. If you are going to do any your project purpose, please don't touch the default VPC. People are still don't understand default VPC. Okay. By default, if you go to any region, there will be a 172 starting range network already created, right? Don't go with default VPC because you are in North Virginia. Okay. And tomorrow you also creating one more server infrastructure in say Canada. And in future, if you want to talk from here to here, the VPC pairing, it will end up with a lot of limitation. So that is why default VPC just for a small standalone testing purpose, not for your project purpose, even for development. I never prefer to go with default VPC. Okay, so now we are going to create a VPC. I'm saying web server hyphen network or web server VPC. And what is my stake on this? So I'm going to say 10.10.0.0/16. How many of you here knows basic subnetting? How many of you know here basic subnetting? How many of you know? Can you share a small explanation? So basically, I'm going to open up Excel sheet. So I'm going to put this. You are going to explain me. Anyway, I'm here to correct because this is also one of the very basic before going to the actual cloud DevOps automation.
I have a basic idea.
Yeah. That's enough. That is more than enough here because we are not trying to master in network. We are trying to master in cloud and DevOps. So my parent subnet 10.10.0.0/16. This is the address I got from my network head. So now I have to use this and I should create all my further subnets. So he said, you take this, but don't come to me. You go and plan according to all individual subnets. So now you tell me I need some at least start with 5 network. How do you define this? First of all, 16/16 means how many networks inside? Okay.
It's like 65,000 plus.
Yeah. So those who are not from network background, don't worry. Go to Google. Okay. Subnet online calculator. Okay. Sometimes don't worry. There is a way you can go for the easiest way. So there is a website called jodis.de. I normally prefer previously, not now, IP calculator subnetting. You go here. What is your requirement now? Hope I have zoomed it. So you are all visible. 10.10.10.0.0. Okay. So what is my /16? So say calculate, right? So it's clearly saying from this host to this host, totally I can accommodate 65,534. But still I don't understand. I'm a layman. I don't understand. So take this, go to your Excel sheet, right, and put it. So, okay, I think we need to go and put it here so that we can first save it. Okay, I'm going to first remove all junks. Okay, and even I removed this. So this is the starting host. This is the ending host. So I'm going here. I'm deleting it. So I'm going to paste it. Okay, now you tell me how do you define from this? Because I got something from website. I got some reference. So now you tell me what is your first network? Let it be first defined. So what is this? 10.0 dot, sorry, 10.10.0.0/24. Is it correct? Subnet 1, correct? And the next subnet is 10.10.1.0/24. Is that correct? Subnet 2. And 10.10.2.0/24. Is that correct? This is subnet 3. And 10.10.3.0/24. Is that correct? Subnet 4. So this means how many machines you can, if you are creating this network, then what is the subnet you will have? Means machine. So 10.
255.
Yes. 10.10.0.1 is the starting address. 10.10.0.254 is the ending address. Correct? So like this, very simple. You first define everything while you learn. Even if take time, don't worry. This is how you need to put your basement very strong. So 10.10.1.1 to 10.10.1, sorry, 1.254. So like this, you can go everything, and up to how much you can go this 10.10.255.0/24. You all agree this? You all agree this, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Vijay.
yes.
Yeah. So this is the basic understanding if you have, that is more than enough. No need to be a network specialist. If you want to concentrate on the cloud, even to do this, go to this website, and exactly this is what they have mentioned here. So if you say this with /16, they are saying this is the first machine IP address. You can use it. So which means 0, the 0 to 254 and 1 to 254. Like this, you can start calculate this, right? So from this, we are, yeah, go ahead.
Shall I share some more points on this?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
This is Delhi here. Let's say we have a maximum subnet mask value, which is given is 2 to the power of 32. Okay. So whenever we choose 16 or 20, we need to subtract 2 to the power of 32 minus 20, whatever the subnet we choose. Based on that, we will calculate.
Yes,
you
yes,
understand
that's
that?
correct. We can get the IP addresses with that.
So higher the value of the subnet, lower the VPC size. If we choose the lower value, we will get the higher the VPC size. Let's say for the same example, 2 to the power of 16. See, you have chosen 16, right? Subnet as a 16. So what we need to do is we need to subtract 2 to the power of 32 minus 16. So we are getting 16. So 2 to the power of 16 equal to the so-called
65,000 plus
65,000 something, and three subnets will be default subnets in the AWS. So that will be subtracted from that.
Okay, so from this, I'm not going to start my network with the 0. I'm going to leave this entire subnet for some reserve purpose. So let us start with the 1.0. So I'm going here, I'm going for my VPC, come down. So while creating VPC, there is an option, default and dedicated. So dedicated will result your billing increase. So as of now, just for a learning purpose, you go with a default. That is more than enough. Go and create a VPC. So once created VPC, I'm going to go and create subnets because I need a subnets to associate my servers, right? So and one more thing, don't alter any default subnet. Most of my classes I used to inform this. So if you have any confusion, better you do like this. I used to do most of my classes. Don't delete one. Like this, first you name it all subnets. So in that case, you will not have any issues, even you forgot. So I used to go with don't delete do. And like this, you can change it. So now I'm going to create a subnet with the newly created VPC. What is my VPC? Web server VPC. Okay. What subnet I need to first create? I'm going to create one public. And if you want, you can select the associate the availability zone. So click this, and what network? So go to this Excel sheet. I want this first subnet to be my, okay. Now I want another subnet. This time I want private subnet, right? Come down. This time I'm going to select next availability zone, and I want this to be 2.0. So you can add n number of subnets, okay? And I'm going to say this is private subnet 1. This is private subnet 2. Even you can say public subnet public subnet 2. You can say this is public subnet 1. So 2 public subnet, 2 private subnet. It's up to you how you are defining it. So private subnet 1. So here also I'm going to say 3.0. And I'm going to add one more subnet. So this subnet, I'm going to say private subnet 2. I'm going to define 4.0. So like this, you can create a number of subnets. I'm also selecting the availability zone. So everything is correct. I'm going to select availability zone. I'm going to say create. So as per this Excel sheet, I have created these 2 are public subnet, these 2 are private subnet. So this is how I have explained in this session, right? So public A, public B, private A, private B. The naming, it's up to you. Even you can give any name, but it should be some meaningful, which you can recollect always. So I have created subnets. Now we need to create a internet gateway. Suppose if you really need the internet, so go here and say web server internet gateway. And once you created, attach your VPC. Which VPC? There is a web server VPC. This internet gateway only require if you really need internet. Otherwise, you no need to go for this. And I have everything I have created. Now come back to your EC2. Okay. Now what you have to do is you need to launch instance. Okay. Now I'm just showing you. So later you create some specific web server related instance and do this exercise. So I'm going to launch one instance and I'm going with a minimal because I just want to show you where the sticky session. This time I'm not selecting the default VPC. Why? Because we have our own VPC. So click this and select the private subnet 1. Right? Come down. Okay, so you can go with the web server related information. How many of you know whenever you want to create a server, but while creating a server, you need to run a lot of scripts. So to make sure before server come online up and running, it has to execute all the scripts while starting. Maybe you can call it as a startup scripts. So people used to call it as bootstrap or startup here. So I have this one. You can also hope you are seeing my notepad, right? So you can use very simple like this. So you no need to log in the server and do all this. So you can just copy and go here and put it and say add storage. And I'm going with a normal disk. And one more thing, when you are practicing during the learning, if you really want to remove all the cost fear, billing fear, always first thing is whenever you want, before you log out, you delete everything. And after 2 hours, again, you want to continue your learning. Again, you come back, log in and create it. And mostly you use nor SSD. Go with the normal disk. These are the ways you can still enjoy your free tire and you can do a lot of learning. Add tags, security group, and I already don't have any security group, so I'm going to say web server all. So I'm going to create. For learning purpose, I'm going to open everything, but don't do this in production. So production, you open only the specific. In this case, we have HTTP, HTTPS. So open only that. So I'm just opening. So next, say launch. So I have already one key pair. say launch instance. So this is the first instance we have created, right? So I'm going to name it as say web server 1. Say web server 1. Web server 1. And I'm going to do the same for another server. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to stick with the same T2 micro, which is a free tier. This time also, I'm going to select the web server VPC. I don't want to go with the default VPC. And this time, previously, we have selected private subnet 1. Now we are going to select private subnet 2, right? And bootstrap also, I'm going to give, but I'm going to give with a small change. Why? Because I need to see the difference. See here, web server 2. Add storage. I don't want a SSD disk. I need just a normal. That is more than enough to go with my learning. So security group, just now we created one security group. Better you select this instead of creating multiple security group. So review launch.
Is it mandatory to add volumes or do we?
Which one?
That?
Which one?
Storage volume.
Wait, let me go here. So how do you create without a volume? Because you need at least one OS disk, right?
Okay.
See, if you go back to the diagram, in any machine, any machine you create, you need at least one disk, because this is where the OS is OS will run, right? On top of this, it's up to you. You are attaching the more disk for data storage. That is really not mandatory, or it's completely up to you. But without a disk, single primary disk, you cannot install any OS. So without OS, I don't think the server will boot and you cannot log in and do all operations. We need one disk minimum.
Vijay, if you don't mind, can we try without the volume? I guess the OS will load it without the volume. Let's try, or we can proceed as.
Okay, so how do you create without storage?
As simple as such. If your system doesn't have the hard disk, then where you will store the data? So the hard disk here is a bootable disk, so it's really required.
Yeah, because this is a OS disk. That is why you see this is a root. Delhi.
Like without heart, human cannot be alive.
So like the one which you are asking, it's a apart from this OS disk, whether we can add the additional disk. That is really up to individual or project or requirement. But if you buy a laptop, at least you need one disk to have the OS installed. Then only you can attach your USB or external hard disk or anything.
Sorry, I got confused with S3 and the default one.
No. That is why I came back, because people should not have any confusion. See here, there is a volume type clearly said it's a root. Hi, there is a person, Advali. Yeah, go ahead. Your query.
Confusion is coming from maybe, when you select the VM size.
Which one?
Storage, and that one is, is like once the machine goes off, it will you will lose whatever you save on it. But for you to boot the operating system, you need the basic hard disk. So yes. in Amazon they call it elastic block store. Why the one that temporary storage that come with your VM size, that one is an instant store, but that one you cannot install an operating system on it. So you need this storage. So it's now up to you, because AWS the price for storage as in your where or your habits where you are going to put your OS is different from the VM size. So you need this for you to boost your operating system for the machine to come on.
Exactly. So on top of this, Delhi, if you want, you can add multiple that you can do it later also. But while creating, because you are selecting the OS, you remember this screen. Let me go to that screen. Let me see here. You are selecting. You are telling the while creating a machine, you need this OS. Please go on mute. Please go on mute. So you need this OS. So in order to have this OS, as he said, so you need one minimum root disk, without which, that is why if you see the size, it's a very less size. It's a very just 8 GB only. So that is more than enough if you go with the 8 GB, because we are not, as per production advice, no production machine will store any files in this root disk. Normally, they will attach the other volumes to store any sort of application files or application created data files, everything. Never ever use this root. This is a normal recommendation so many years. Even if you create a Windows, there is a minimum size is I think 176 GB in Azure. Here also there is a minimum OS disk, Windows disk has to be present. Shall I proceed, Delhi? So I'm just going to say add tags, security group, and review launch, and going to say next, say launch. I'm just selecting. So now go back to this diagram. So what we are doing is now we are creating the this setup. So I have created one EC2, one. I have created EC2. Okay, this is one machine. This is one machine. But before that, what we did, we have created one VPC. Okay, in that VPC, I have created one private subnet. I have created one private subnet. So private subnet 1, private subnet 1, private subnet 2. So now everything is in place. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a target group, okay, and attach this to a server. And in that target group, I'm going to again attach load balancer. Now I'm going to show you where is the option and what purpose you need to use it. So let's go back to this. I'm going to name it as, I hope everyone seeing right without any lagging my screen. So I'm going to say web server 2. There is a typo. Web server 2. Save it. And so now web server 1 and web server 2 got created. And we will wait for 2x2 checks passed. So now let it go on getting created. So now we will go to actual load balancer. So while creating a load balancer, okay, it will ask target group. So first we will go with the target groups. We will create a target group. So create target group. Okay, so here I'm seeing 4 options, right? Which one you will choose it? So now our idea is to see application. So we have some application in the instance, right? So if you go and check the application part, so you select instance or application load balancer.
Yeah, application load balancer.
Okay, so I'm just selecting application load balancer. I'm going to say web server target group, say target group 1. Okay, we can even say instead of target location 1, web server location 1 and port 80, that are all fine. And which VPC we need to select? Either default VPC or the one which we need for which VPC?
Server VPC.
Yeah, so if I select the default VPC, because there is no private, so all are public. So if I select the one which we created, see the difference. So I have to select this, come down. So now I'm going to say next. Please go on mute. Next. So here I'm getting the application load balancer because we haven't created any application load balancer. So now we will hold this and say application load balancer, or you can go with add application load balancer later. So I'm going to create a application load balancer. So what is the application load balancer name? Web server application app LB1, or you can say application 1, or you can name it anything you want. But I don't want to get internet facing. So you select the internet facing. Why? Because the idea here is this we are able to reach, but this machine nobody can reach it because it's sitting in a private. But using this load balancer, we are going to come inside. We are going to come inside, right? So even though it's not exposed, but we are exposing via the load balancer. So I'm going to come down. Okay, so now why I'm getting this warning? Let's go here. So do you think if I go with the default VPC, if I select this, my VPC, I'm going here. So why I'm getting this? Any idea?
Yes, sir. To
Hello,
enable
Vijay.
the internet, we need to have a route table and internet gateway.
So you need a route. So we haven't added any route. So I'm going here. I'm going here. So there is a see here, there is a routing table created. So first you select, there is a one routing. So I'm going to name this as a public route 1, and I'm going to create a new routing table. This time I'm going to say private route 1, and I'm going to select my web server VPC. So now you need to associate. This is a private, right? So subnet association, you go here and attach the private. So that is why I named it correctly to make sure I'm not doing any mistake. And routes. So you do a route, add route towards your internet. Sorry. So I'm just going here. So even I'm going for a public route, subnet association, edit subnet association. Sorry, public. I'm going for this. And I'm going for public. And we have to add the routes because the network has to know how to reach outside. So I'm going for, so in your project, if there is no need for any direct, then just skip this. I have explained in the class video also, which I shown. I think class 20, day 20. If you go and refer my playlist, you will get it. So now here everything is fine. So now I'm going to close all this. Again, I'm going to create because it has to take effect the latest settings. Even the target group also I'm going to cancel it because we haven't created. So based on that, we are going here. First, we will go with the load balancer. So create a load balancer, application load balancer. So I'm going to name it as web server app 1. So come down. I'm going to select my VPC, which we created. So now I'm going to select this. See here, now there is no warning because we have added the routing table, and you need to add the security group because this is a security group we have allowed. But in production, don't create a security group with all ports allowed. Only you allow what port you need. You need port 80, you need 4443 or some database port. Only you allow. Come down. So there is a target group. So we haven't created a target group. So create a target group. So target group without load balancer. So I'm going with the application load balancer type. Come down. Web server target group app 1 or say location 1. Okay, better we will go with the location 1. Come down. I have selected our created VPC. Come down. Say next. So we will add it later. Create target group. So the target group got created. Let's wait. Okay, so now I'm going here, refresh it. So create load balancer, application load balancer, web server app LB1. Come down. We will select our VPC. In that VPC, there is a private subnet 1, private subnet 2, and our security group, which we opened. Come down. Let's check this. So now you go and check. Go here and say create load balancer. Why it's not showing? We'll also create web server location 2, and I'm going for this. I have to. I'm going to register it because it's getting process. So create target group. Come back here. I'm selecting this. So now we are created the one. So now you all tell me how this flow going to work. Maybe I can open the new one. So someone has to explain. So whatever we created, what exactly going to happen? You are sitting in here. So how the traffic is going to reach your web server? Anyone? Muthu? Yes. Muthu? Srikanth? Yes.
let me explain. Delhi here.
Yes.
First, the request will go to the.
No, go slowly so that I can parallelly draw so everyone will understand.
Sure. The request will go to the load balancer first.
Wait. So the load balancer first. Okay, what load balancer we created? Web server
application.
Web server application, right?
Yes.
Okay. App. Okay. Then
the request will be routed to the route table.
No. Route table. Okay. The VPC part, anyway, you have to have the backend, right? So after you reach load balancer, this load balancer, where it will send the traffic?
Target group.
Okay. Target group. Okay. In the target group, you associated both instance, right? Instance 1 EC2, instance 2 EC2. Is that correct, Delhi?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where this sticky bit option, sticky session option is there to check whether it is enabled or not, because I need that feature. So where you will go and check the sticky session option. Any Isaac, Sulaiman, Venumadavi? Yeah, Maniandan. Anyone?
We will enable it a load balancer level.
No. So that is why I just asking where you will go and check. So now you go back to your target group. You have created one target group, right? So I'm going to the location 2. So now you tell me where. So, okay, Money, I think, can you give permission to Money? Can everyone go to this attribute?
Manikandan, you can speak. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah.
Srinivasa Raju. Yes. So I hope everyone is seeing my screen, right?
Yeah. Can you check it in actions?
No. So in attribute, are you able to see this? So in target group, wherever you are created, right? The target group, go and edit. See here and stickiness. Is everyone is seeing my screen? Stickiness,
Yes,
Sulaiman,
yes,
Isaac,
yes.
everybody?
Yeah, Vijay.
Hi, Isaac. Yes, you can unmute. Already you have enabled.
Yes, I can see. That's all.
Yeah. So now, is anyone tell me, Isaac or anyone, why there is a two kind of a stickiness? What is the difference between this load balancer generate cookie and application based cookie? What is the real difference here? What is the advantage of it? Anyone? Any views? Just share even
so
if
for
you are
application, it will access the same application, same server.
No, actually stickiness is the feature itself. The default behavior is inbuilt.
Vijay, I think I don't know much about that, but if you think about the application-based cookie, then if we have accessed one of web server, okay, website, okay, it won't go to the actual server, okay, it will access from buffer only at load balancer level, okay, and if you think about load balancer generated cookie. It is like something network based cookie, I think.
Yes. So most of the financial or more robust application, they normally go with their application based cookie because it's more controlled. Even that area, no intruder will come inside. You all agree?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So whenever you go to any interview, because this is also one of the question I used to ask my students, my interview panel. So what if you go and create some situation where you have to implement this scenario, and what kind of scenarios you will prefer load balancer cookie and application based cookie? So if your application is want to have more controlled manner, it's a more enterprise level, then mostly you prefer the application based cookie, because this is how you control your application transaction, and what is the timeout, almost everything. But load balancer cookie also will help you at till some point, right? And also the stickiness duration. Nowadays, any website, if you go, they started asking the consent and cookie everything for marketing purpose, or from application purpose, or from session validation purpose, timeout. So you can select all this, but I normally prefer to go with the seconds if you have any financial based application, because that Manigandan. Okay, you are not able to unmute. Okay, let me just. Okay, so seconds, normally you can select how much you want. Manigandan, you are joined through Teams app or browser, because sometimes your Teams version is not updated, up to date. This problem is happening. Okay.
His mic has been enabled.
Yes. Okay, Mani, for time being, I'm making you as a presenter. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah, thanks, Vijay. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, I will.
Okay, so application-based cookie normally will prefer for more robust. Isaac, Sulaiman, you understand this, right? So whenever you go to any exam, if you get into some scenario questions where you read out those questions even in the interview, if you foresee such enterprise grade or more security governance or more enhancement, then please prefer this way. Okay, and I'm going to say as of now, load balancer, save changes.
Yeah, VJ, before you proceed, I didn't quite understand the difference between the two stickiness. I understand you said application based cookies give robust control.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the first one, the load balancer generator. What does it? What is different?
The load balancer cookie, say for example, you are going here, so you are accessing. So the load balancer itself will have the session persistence where this traffic first reached, that reference it will keep, right? But what kind of application you have, that application nature also this cookie will not have. So that is where if you think you need to have more control, because this is where the intruder will start play on this. So if you have because you are a application developer, assume, so you know what is your application functionality. So accordingly you create your own cookie. That is most preference way to whenever there is a user login or trying to connect. So you enable the cookie, and this cookie will also know the application. So accordingly, you put a lot of checkpoints here because you need artifacts later also to investigate. So even if the transaction anything fails, so the cookie will be it's yours. So rather than the AWS default load balancer cookie, the load balancer cookie normally will maintain all this reference everything. But the application based, application oriented, better you go with your own. Normally developer will know this, and developer will develop this in most of the cases, Isaac.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to ask another question. What is mean by round robin? What is mean by list? So what kind of a scenario you will prefer this option? What kind of a scenario you will prefer this option? Because this also, most of the interviews people are not able to answer. So we are discussing about for application you are accessing, say www.citibank.com or www.amazon.com. You are ordering something, you are purchasing something, but those kind of a financial based transaction, financial based enhancements, then what if I select this option? What if I select this option? Any input?
Vijay.
Yes.
So round robin means like it cycles through like in order. It cycles the targets in the order, so that it receives equally the requests.
Okay. What about the second one?
Second one is
least outstanding request. What is the second one?
Vijay, if our application has different kind of services, I may have a different throughput. So let's assume just I am checking the balance. Probably that doesn't take much time. If I am doing the fund transfer, or if one of the service may be depend on the other service, by that time we have to select the least outstanding request, so that whichever is server is free, so that the request will get forward instead of the round robin. If all the services have the same throughput, by the time we can go with the round robin, so that it will distribute sequentially. So first request go to the server A and second request B and server C. So if we have three servers, it will distribute across all the three servers if it has the same throughput for the same service. But if we have different services of different throughput, probably the second option is the right one to select.
Exactly. So now another question: if you have say the same scenario, financial application, you want to purchase something, those kind of websites, you are going to that website, you are ordering something for your family or some friends. So those kind of a websites, while configuring, will you prefer the first option or second option? Remember, there is I will give you one clue. The financial based transaction, you must go with this because your ordering will fail if each and every traffic will go to different server, right? So that is the major reason we are going with the stickiness. You agree, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in that situation, what option you prefer? Round robin or list outstanding request?
Not pretty sure, but I prefer with the least outstanding request.
Yeah, least outstanding request. What will happen is mostly it receives the next request by selecting the instance, and a round robin still both option will work, but the round robin will act as okay. First come, go to the first machine. Second comes, go to second machine. But if they see any sticky reference without any timeout, it's a session is valid, then also it will forward to the same. But the least outstanding request will also judge, okay, the next request where it is coming from at the moment, lowest number of outstanding, pending or unfinished. So that level it will kneel down. The round robin option, it will come, okay, go here, it will come, go here. Along with the sticky session enabled, still it will perform the same, but the judgment more accurate here. The judgment is not much accurate here. So so you need to think about this option also whenever you go any exam or interview or anything or any projects. Hope I'm clear to everyone.
Okay, one question, Vijay. One follow-up
Yes,
question.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, yep, we enable if we enable the stickiness, then round robin will not work appropriately, right?
No. No, the round robin will work because round robin plus stickiness you are enabling.
Okay.
Least outstanding request plus stickiness you are enabling. See here, now you are selecting only round robin, not the decision. But round robin, stickiness, and least outstanding this option with the stickiness. So still you can achieve. But what I'm saying is, along with this and stickiness combination will also take more judgment. That is what I'm trying to convey.
Oh, okay.
Because if you go in this with the stickiness, then also you can this will take a decision on whatever pending, whatever unfinished, whatever in progress. So those kind of a situation also will be handled. But round robin with stickiness, it will come. Okay, go here. Okay, you have already reference. You need to go only this. So that mechanism only will happen. So it won't care whether your the session is in progress or pending or unfinished. Hope you understand now.
Yeah, I got the logic. So it look for only the very first coming request.
Yes.
Not for all the subsequent requests.
Yes. So each and every hit, it will also check. Okay, the cookie is valid. So you go this server only. But here it will also, on top of this, it will also check what kind of a state the progress is. Yeah, go ahead. I think someone started asking something.
Vijay, this is Mani. So the list outstanding request, you said if you're someone try to access the website, it go to load balancer. If this option is selected, it will keep tracking it's pending in case of the site is not working. So what is the next action it will take? So you got my question, right? So
No.
if there's
No. Can you repeat your question?
No, see, I understand the round robin. So whenever request come, it will go to web server 1 or web server 2. The load balancer will help you on that. Okay. So the list outstanding request, it will track the status of the site. If it is pending, something has happened. So what action it will take in case if I'm doing some payment option, right? It's not go next step. I'm that step is hung on that an application. Okay. So what is that?
There you are talking about the other scenarios. Okay, the functionality you understand right now. So now you are asking, you are trying to access the website, and while accessing the website, the page after logged in or while transferring it got hung. That is the situation you are asking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is the case, you need to call the backend team. Backend team will retrieve the JSession ID. Hope you are all understand the JSession ID, what it means. So the JSession ID, using that, they will retrieve and the backend process. Have you ever booked any ticket once the payment also withdrawn, but still you haven't got any confirmation? So when you contacted support, they can process behalf of you. Have you ever faced such situation? Anyone?
Yes.
Do you know how they are doing? This is the same. See, it's hanged means only your front end reachability hanged, but you are all process everything over, so they can easily retrieve with your session and see. They will check what happened. So what I'm explaining is the whole process, right? So even sometimes if you log in, you do your transaction and keep your the window maximum, say some ideal, right? Immediately when you click some menu, it will redirect it to the login again. Have you seen most of the time?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Agree.
So this is the option we are talking about. More controlled manner.
Okay. Got it now.
Yeah. So okay, now we will go and first. Okay, these are all way you can maintain your session also. See here, So I'm going to first remove, because I'm going to explain other one. In your case, while learning, whenever you finished, you want to go to some 1 hour, 1.5 hour outside, please get rid of everything. This is the how you can enjoy your free tire. Basically, mine is pay as you go, but still many of you just created AWS account after due to this session. So please delete everything very frequently. This is the way you can save a lot of time, a lot of billing, and you can extend your free tire. Okay, and how many of you know what is cloud native? Because everywhere now people are started talking about cloud. So what is the legacy application? What is mean by cloud native application? Any idea? Sulaiman, Isaac? Probably I can ask some people.
Is it private cloud?
No.
As OpenStack?
Hope you understand my question. What I'm saying is, everybody talking about cloud native application. Say, for example, before cloud, what we did, we have to take one machine. This machine maybe have a Windows or Linux or anything. On top of this, I have to install some software, WebLogic or WebSphere or JBoss. Okay, previously, I'm talking about previously. So in that WebLogic, I have to deploy my application. Okay, this application for Windows, this application for Linux. So my developer has to create two set of application. One is for Windows, one is for Linux. Because this application is directly related to my base OS architecture, right? So now we are talking about one word called cloud native.
Okay.
So what is mean by cloud native?
It is like I think I'm not sure about that, but it is like software as a service.
Okay. No. I don't want any concept wise. I want a technical understanding. What is mean by cloud native?
I think the applications which are directly born in the cloud.
AMI images has already installed required applications on the servers. That is called native cloud native applications.
Any other? Because I'm
it's
looking
like
for some
migrating,
more views.
it's like migrating.
Some
like
other
legacy. Hello.
Like a customized image.
Hello,
No.
Vijay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, is from my own understanding, is basically the construction of a monolithic application.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So can you repeat that word? So everyone go on mute. So he is the correct explanation. Yes, go ahead.
I said is the construction of our monolithic application, whereby you can be able to build a new environment in a microservice way, in whichever environment you are trying to run with your application built, you'll be able to run it.
Exactly. So hereafter, anyone go to any interview or any exam, please remember this word. This is the major gap people are having. Everyone saying I'm working in cloud. When I go and ask how you are saying you are in cloud, and because most of the application now, it's not a cloud native application. They are just taking that application and creating one server in cloud, and they're deploying it. That is not a cloud native. Cloud native means you have to re-architect from monolithic application, which we used previously, and now how we are using. We have to decouple. I will explain very soon with more example. So monolithic application, this is the legacy application, I would say. Take this and decouple it. So this is the decoupled application. It is a cloud native application. How? You can challenge me. So I will explain what is mean by cloud native, because without this understanding, very sad to see, many people are certified in Kubernetes, many people are certified in Docker. which is really shows they don't have a base understanding. It's very easy, very small concept. Okay, let me open one slide. Can we have some 5 to 10 minutes break?
Sure, Vijay. Yeah. 10 minutes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So you the call will be open. So you come back after 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Vijay. Bye.